Hey everyone, welcome back. Just a short video for you today. Something I had to do recently on this pickup is replace the vapor can for the fuel vapors from the tank. I kept smelling gas coming out of right here, and so the can was bad. I don't smell any gas right now, and I've been running this, so the engine's nice and hot. So no fuel smell. Had to put a new can in. It's a pretty simple thing. It's probably the easiest thing to replace on this pickup, honestly. Except maybe the oil fill cap. That might be easier to replace because it's, it just sits right there and you just screw it on. But to get the can out, you undo this little tiny bolt right here. There's just a clamp. It hinges. It folds out like so. And then you can pull your can out after you disconnect this line right here. This is the only line that comes into this cam. It is a 1/2-inch fuel line. I would inspect that line. This is a new one I put on. The factory one was pretty worn down, but it runs underneath the junction box and stuff, and it runs down. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. All right, that steel line right there off the end of my finger, that's where it connects, like so. So you'll want to replace that line if it looks like it's kind of worn, just to be on the safe side. You get that off. I mean, it's just a clamp. This piece right here, this little plastic piece, it's got 4 fingers on the end that sit in there and snap. And there's an O-ring around it that helps it seal. It's a tight fit. If the hose you're pulling off is from the factory, it's probably going to be on this plastic piece pretty good. So if you pull the plastic piece out and the hose is on it, it's no big deal. If you pull the hose off and the plastic piece is still on the can, that's no big deal. Because once you have this clamp loose and you pull the can out, you should be able to get in there with a screwdriver or something and get it loose. Don't break it, because I don't know that you can still get them. I did not see a part number on this. I looked and I couldn't find a replacement part, so just be careful not to break that. The only other thing you'll have to take off and replace, because they don't send these things with the new can, and this is a Motorcraft part. I like to buy those when I can, and this wasn't much more expensive than any other options. But they don't send this little vent cap, and it's the same thing. It's just got 4 little fingers that stick on there, and it's literally just a vent. That's all it is. It doesn't seal. There's no O-rings on it or anything. So I guess something on my factory can broke or got worn out, because fuel vapor was just coming out of here. I could smell it real bad. I could smell it in my air conditioning, and that's not a good show for anyone. So just be careful not to break this off completely. It's just 4 little fingers. It pulls off, and these are, both these fittings are tight fits, so just be careful with that. The only other thing, just, it lines up in a slot here. So as long as you do that, and then, that's how you get it out, and then to put it back in, you just stick it in there, clamp it down, and slap your attachments back in, and you're good to go. You got a brand new cam. So this is a Motorcraft one. Like I said, I'll put a part number down below if you guys want to go look at it. I got mine from Rock Auto, so it was probably cheaper than getting it somewhere else, but like I said, it wasn't much more expensive than some of the other options, and I like to buy Motorcraft parts when I can, but most of the time they're just too darn expensive. So that's how you replace your vapor canister. If you're smelling fuel, I would check up here first, and then you got all those other lines down along your frame rail where like your fuel filter and stuff is at. So if you don't smell fuel coming, and I mean, if this can's bad, you'll smell it. If this is not the problem, if you are not 100% certain that this is the problem, I would crawl underneath and look along that frame rail on the driver's side of the vehicle, and I'd start replacing those lines too, if I were you. And that should solve your fuel leak problem. Now, another thing that I will mention real quick, I don't want this to go on too long, but I will mention real quick. I have read, get my hand out of your face, I've read in a couple of different places that if you smell fuel odor in your engine compartment, it could be an injector, and one of the O-rings on the injector has gone bad. And that could also contribute to poor fuel economy and, rough running. I still have a little bit of rough running on this, but I know what that is. It's not related to fuel leaks. But this, like I said, I could smell it coming out of that vent right there. And I was just losing fuel for absolutely no reason. I would park this thing, and I'd get back in, and I'd have lost, an 1/8 of a tank of fuel. It was ridiculous. And it was particularly bad when the engine was running. You could smell it even worse then. So just, you know, that's how you replace your cans. Some things to keep an eye out for if you're smelling fuel vapor in your engine compartment. And if it's not that, and it's, you know, if it's not related to your fuel rail up here, your ejectors or your can, like I said, it's underneath on those frame rails, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. But part number will be down below. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll be back in the future with more stuff, weather permitting. So tune in again later, see what I've got for you.